morning, and welcome back to Success and Equity on BCTV. I'm your host, Francis Mayer. We just got to spend time with Jared Meathead Man, my former partner in radio, and talked about how he had to reinvent himself after almost 15 years spent living the rock and roll lifestyle on radio and on different stages and venues. And for Jared, what changed his career was economics. Radio was compressing and shows were getting simpler, and he got squeezed out. But what if you find yourself with something that's really out of your control, like a health issue? Right now we're going to speak with Joe Bergman. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Doing good.
And you had that career that parents want their kids to get. You had a nice, stable job, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do?
I was a probation officer for Kern County for about 14 years.
Wow. And you know, I've heard stories about how you were a pretty likable guy.
Yes.
You weren't a knuckle beater, if you will, right?
That's correct. I treated everybody like I'd want myself or my family treated.
Right, and you enjoyed your work,
Yep.
dare I say.
Yeah, it was a fun job.
And you were able to help people and kind of, in many instances, and get them to kind of maybe change their wayward ways.
Yeah, and I still get updates and phone calls and Facebook messages from those success stories.
Wow, that's crazy. And I know for a while you were assigned, was it to handling DUIs?
Yes.
And some of those folks were battling a disease called alcoholism, right?
Yeah, and it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That's something that almost I think everybody watching probably knows someone who's dealing with alcoholism. But you were dealing with a different disease.
Yeah, since I was 24, 25, I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, and explain to us what that is.
My body attacking itself, joints, connective tissue, and now organs are basically being attacked by my immune system.
Wow. And what sort of treatment is involved in that?
I go in every other month for an IV infusion that suppresses my immune system. I'm on chemo drugs. I have a whole shopping bag of meds at home, basically.
Wow. And this is something that is very serious. And, Joe, you have tried in earnest to fight this disease, and you have successfully. I mean, you're sitting here with us. But there came kind of a turning point for you, correct?
Yeah, it was an eye-opening experience when the doctor said it should be time to worry about myself and stop worrying about other people and enjoy the life that I have left.
Wow. That's pretty heavy to hear.
Yeah, it is.
And where did you decide to start that reinvention process, as it were? Because, you know, you've been a law enforcement officer. You know how to do that. But that's pretty wild to have a doctor tell you, like, follow your bliss, essentially.
Yeah, always kind of had a photography hobby. Did photography with my godson playing football. Followed him down to college. Kind of ended up being on-the-side sports photographer. And since being retired, kind of got tired of waking up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon without doing anything.
Oh, no. Were you playing video games and watching movies and stuff, or what?
Just lots of Netflix time.
Oh, wow.
And decided, you know, I need to get off my butt and try doing something. So that's when I went back to BC and joined the RIP as a photographer.
And you are a student photographer now. You've got the press pass and everything. He's calling me, bugging me for access. Anyway, you're awesome, and I never mind giving you access. But did you feel intimidated about coming back to school?
No, school has always been really an outlet for me.
Okay.
I have my bachelor's in criminology, and then about 10 years after that, went back and got my master's in criminal justice and psychology.
Wow.
And I've attended classes here and there at BC that just kind of interest me. Like the criminal justice department a few years back had a profiling class, so I took that. I took a sign language class just to try to learn a new language. So here and there, I mean, I pick up classes here and there.
So you're a person who totally understands that BC, I mean, we have the Grace Van Dyke Bird Library, which is absolutely amazing. The archive's located up there. There's a ton of awesome stuff happening knowledge-wise in the library. But the entire campus is like a giant volume of how-to books for anything that you want to do.
Yeah, but it's a little bit better because you get the personal interaction. And if you're not getting it, you could always ask the teacher, ask the professor.
And have you been in that position?
Yes. Sign language is a pain.
I'm not going to ask you to sign that. But that might be something that our viewers don't fully comprehend, and that is that, you know, I hear students worry about taking math classes or for some folks it's writing, but you're taking photography courses. There's a lot of fun stuff to do at the college, and you're learning. Are you taking any classes with John Hart?
I've already taken those.
Okay, all right. But John is like, you know, if not a world famous, well, he might think he's world famous.
In his own mind.
In his own, he's definitely a legend in his own. He's a legend in my mind as well. But, you know, John is featured in textbooks about photojournalism.
Yeah, he definitely knows his stuff.
Yeah, and he's got a wonderful website that you can check out. I think it's called If You Can't Have My Job, But I'll Tell You a Story. Anyway, Google John Hart WordPress, and you'll find out more about one of our excellent instructors at Bakersfield College. We have those type of people lurking around on campus waiting to teach you their passion.
Yep.
And that's absolutely outstanding. For you, is there a chance that you will try to get a photojournalism degree, or are you here just for the enrichment?
Right now, just for the enrichment. I already have 2 masters. So, I mean, I don't think AA in journalism would benefit me that much.
But it might. You know, you never know.
So it's more just for the enrichment and the experience.
But, Joe, you're already in this funny position where, like, you know, you're a guy who's coming back to school for the enrichment and the experience and because it's time for you to follow your bliss. But funny things happen when you go to BC. Like the other day, I have to call Joe and ask you for permission for the Bakersfield Californian to use one of your photographs.
Yeah, it's fun times.
Like, isn't it crazy, though? Like, you're just here, just doing it. You're not even, I don't want to say you're not trying, because you try to do a good job. But you're not trying to start a new career. It's just kind of happening.
Yeah, just something to really get out and do something, and it ends up leading to something else.
Now, I know that you're with Mason Rockfellow and Mo and the rest of those crazy cats at the RIP. How does it feel to be not a teenager and going to BC?
Really haven't had that kind of sit back and scratch my head moment, because everyone I dealt with, especially in the RIP, is very mature, and they really got a sense of urgency and a sense of direction about them.
See, that's outstanding. I know a lot of people feel concerned, and I talk to returning students about how they feel like they're not going to get it or they're not going to fit in. But I never get that feeling when I'm on campus. I see people of all creeds and ethnicities hanging out, mingling, ages, and I don't see any conflict on campus myself.
Yeah, and so far I haven't. It's been, you know, welcoming arms, basically.
Yeah. Do you feel like BC is a pretty progressive environment where people... It's all solution-oriented, to me anyway.
Yeah, and if you don't know it, I mean, you could pretty much ask anybody and they'll help. Like, I had to go find the fireside room for the first time.
Okay, well, it's in the campus center. Now you know.
Just found someone walking and asked, and they told me where to go without, you know, just everyone helping each other.
Yeah, and I've been in professional environments, and I'm sure you have too, where people are pretty territorial. They're not helpful, but gosh, man, you stop anybody on campus and ask them for help, and they're going to make time for you. They're going to help you get done what you need to get done.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, Joe, I had no idea. I knew you were a bright guy, but I didn't know that you had 2 master's degrees. And your story is really inspiring. I mean, you're overcoming a lot just by coming here today and by going to the college. And you, like you said, you were on the Netflix plan. I mean, you could be at home eating Cheetos watching Netflix, but you have decided to open another window to life, as it were, on the BC campus.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just huge. Well, I want to call in and have you come to the show again after you get another degree in journalism at BC. I have a feeling it's going to happen.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
All right, thank you.
Coming up next, we've got a guy who has traveled the nation, actually. He got to do an internship in New York City, but he's taken the path less traveled as well, and he's also going to tell you how to make your dollars go a little bit further. We're going to check in with Gabe next on Success and Equity on BCTV.